Have you seen the Avengers Endgame trailer? Of course you have. I heard if you watch it enough times, you can hear the music from Lavender Town, which will slowly drive you insane. It will also leave you with a ton of questions as the new trailer really doesn't give a lot away. However, after watching and rewatching this trailer, my questions have become full-on theories bordering on conspiracies.
Can you prove any of this?
Absolutely not.
Here are 7 Avengers Endgame theories that could break the Marvel Universe, or me. Number 1. Hawkeye is a Skrull. With the second Captain Marvel trailer confirming that Skrulls are on Earth and impersonating humans, it brings me back to the Marvel storyline Secret Invasion, where, well, Skrulls were on Earth impersonating humans. There were sleeper agents who didn't know they were aliens, as well as ones who did know their true nature, but was all part of a gigantic plan to take over Earth. In the Endgame trailer, we see Hawkeye in his Ronin costume, which he wore briefly during the Secret Invasion storyline in the comics. Now, in that Marvel comic story, he was never a Skrull, but he did fight one who was trying to impersonate him. What's the purpose of this? Well, it's there simply to set up a future storyline. If this is true, it may not be something we see play out in any fashion in Endgame, but Hawkeye changing his outfit, ending up in Japan, all while skipping out of the Thanos battle seems a little suspicious, right? There's also the idea that Ronin is the real Clinton Barton, and has been forever, and Hawkeye was always a Skrull, meaning the Avengers have never actually met Clint Barton before. Does your head hurt yet? More than likely, Clint would have turned into Ronin after mourning the loss of his family who died during the Thanos snap. To be honest, that's a bit too logical for me as someone who's read horribly convoluted comic book storylines over the past 3 decades. Number 2. Captain America faces Red Skull again by traveling through time. How do you stop Thanos from killing everyone? Well, you could stop him from collecting the Infinity Stones. One of our theories has Steve going back in time to prevent Schmidt, Red Skull, from getting the Tesseract, that blue glowing cube with the Infinity Stone in it. And I love this idea, but like all theories, if it happens, it will complicate the universe. Just like Adam Conover, time travel ruins everything. Doing this means Cap never has to battle on the plane with Red Skull and Captain America, the first Avenger, and he never has to crash the plane into the ocean, putting him on ice for more than half a century. As a comic book fan, my mind goes right to House of M, where Steve Rogers was also never frozen, and he was just an old man wandering around New York. This is actually a pretty good way to get Chris Evans out of the Marvel movies. He goes out heroically, but never has to die. When ranking all these theories from plausible to, Matt, you gotta get out of your house and talk to real people, this one ranks, sure, that could happen. We last saw Scott Lang trapped in the quantum realm in Ant-Man and the Wasp with all of his friends snapped out of existence. How will he get out? Well, Doctor Strange will probably help him. You're probably thinking, hey ding-dongs, Doctor Strange died in Infinity War. He sure did. So let's go back to Infinity War, shall we? Remember on Titan when Doctor Strange was using the Time Stone to look into every possible future in order to beat Thanos? And he said there was only one way to beat him?
Went forward in time to view alternate futures.
What if during that time, I propose Strange travel to the future in order to release Scott from the quantum realm? It may seem like a small, trivial thing, but Ant-Man's release from this teeny tiny zone may be a major part of the one way to beat Thanos. Aside from the Ant-Man movies, the only time we've seen the quantum realm was very, very briefly in 2016's Doctor Strange. We know that he can use his powers to head into that realm, so it only makes sense that Strange will go forward in time, release Scott, and travel back to Titan and die. At least he went out like a hero. And now let's dig a hole that keeps getting deeper and deeper the more I talk about it. Something isn't sitting right with me with the brief moment we see Thanos, more specifically his hand. The lighting is bright and it seems like he's living in a perfect world. But hear me out, what if Thanos isn't on some distant planet enjoying his final days as a farmer? What if he was one of the living beings that died during his own snap and he's trapped in the Soul Stone? We saw Gamora in the Soul Stone during Infinity War, where she was a child right around the age when she met Thanos. So Thanos could be trapped in the Soul Stone as well, thinking he's living this amazing life as an intergalactic farmer with a scarecrow made up of his own armor. He's in his own personal heaven. So how do you beat a mad titan when he's already dead? Well... Number 5. The only way to beat Thanos is to travel back in time.
Good call.
So I'm like 99% sure this is going to be a major part of the movie, as leaked set photos showed Iron Man and Captain America in New York in full costume, which matches their looks from the first Avengers movie. Also, Ant-Man was there, but that's besides the point. So how do you defeat the Mad Titan after he's ended half the life in the universe? Obviously, you go back in time, and I'm not gonna say, kill that Thanos, baby. Yes, it's easy, but man, it feels wrong. The best time to go after Thanos is during the Battle of New York, when Loki and Thanos teamed up and unleashed the Chitauri Horde upon the city. Thanos wouldn't be expecting to be attacked because no one in the Avengers knew of his existence at this point. It's all perfect, but as we continue with this theory, we keep going down a rabbit hole of madness, and I'm sorry. Number 6, some MCU storylines will be undone by the end of Endgame. So you've gone back in time and killed Thanos before he had the chance to collect the Infinity Stones. Congratulations! Now let's take a moment to figure out everything that won't and will happen because of Thanos' death. In the words of Mario, here we go! Gamora never goes to Xandar to get the Power Stone as Thanos ordered her to go there. Because of this, the Guardians of the Galaxy probably aren't formed, but at the same time, Ronan never gets the Power Stone, it'll just sit inside the orb on the planet Morag, which we see Peter Quill on in the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy. The Power Stone will remain in the orb, but on Xandar after Quill sells it to the broker. Rocket and Groot capture Quill and send him back to Yondu. Quill's father Ego finds Star-Lord with the Ravagers, frees him, and Quill helps Ego fulfill his plan from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This may lead to a battle with the Avengers. Red Skull remains forever lonely. The Great Forge of Nidavellir is never destroyed. And even more things will be undone after the end of Endgame. That was just the cosmic side of things. Here's what's going to happen to everybody on Earth and the Asgardians. The Asgardians relocate to Earth, all still alive. Hulk may retake over Banner's body, as his battle with Thanos was the Green Monster's last straw. Captain America and Iron Man run their own Avengers teams, except Cap has to do his in secret. Ant-Man doesn't get trapped in the quantum realm, but there is no way of really knowing how that affects him until Endgame comes out. Doctor Strange will have only met Thor and Loki and never fought alongside the Avengers. Loki doesn't die. I've created a bigger mess, haven't I? Number 7, everyone's minds will be wiped. Stepping away from the horrific continuity mess I created with all my theories so far, there is one thing that needs to be discussed about what Thanos did. How will this affect everyone who comes back to life at the end of Endgame? Will the universe have to live with the thoughts of being erased from existence after returning? Probably not. A very familiar staple of science fiction is minds being erased after something major has been undone. Look at Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. After the kids beat the game, they all return to the present and they see an adult Alex living a happy life. However, the only people that have an inkling that something went wrong were the people playing Jumanji, and the only characters to remember what the world was like prior to beating the game are Spencer, Fridge, Martha, and Bethany, the kids who found the game in the basement of the high school. Sure, that's a lot of Jumanji talk in an Avengers theory piece, but we really could see something like that happen. After going back in time and beating Thanos, the only characters we see in the past will remember the alternate universe where everyone was snapped out of existence. Otherwise, we're dealt with an MCU where everyone has a form of PTSD after being deleted by a giant purple man with the golden glove. Well, actually, they never saw him, but you get the point. Living in a world where people are aware of what happened to any extent creates more problems. Now, those are just my theories, but I may have gone a little mad. Make sure to leave your theories below in the comments section, but make sure to wear your tinfoil hat because the government could read your mind and they're made up of lizard people. Make sure to like, subscribe to GameSpot Universe, especially if you want more from movies, TV, wrestling, anime, and more.
Welkom bij Segment met Marshall. Leer plezier aan de moet lead.